Every time you check who's at your door from your phone, every time that camera blinks to life in your hallway, you're using an invention born from fear. Not corporate fear, not government fear. The fear of a black woman who worked nights and came home to darkness. Her name was Marie Van Brittan Brown, Queens, New York, 1966. By day, she saved lives as a nurse. By night, she came home to a neighborhood where police response times in black communities weren't measured in minutes. They were measured in if we feel like it. Marie's husband Albert was an electronics technician, often working late, which meant Marie, coming home after long hospital shifts, was alone, exhausted, vulnerable. And in that vulnerability, in that very specific cocktail of isolation and intelligence and necessity, she imagined something that didn't exist. Here's what you had in 1966 if you wanted to see who was at your door. A peephole, a tiny glass eye that showed you basically nothing useful. You couldn't see who was at your door unless you were literally pressed against it. You couldn't hear them clearly. You couldn't talk to them without opening up. And if you were a woman alone, opening that door was a gamble. Marie knew this intimately. She'd come home, climb those stairs, keys already in hand, that universal woman's ritual, and stand outside her own door, trying to decide if the footsteps she heard were dangerous. The police? In her neighborhood, calling them meant waiting. Waiting meant risk. And risk, for a black woman in 1966, often meant being told your fear wasn't justified. So Marie did what black women have always done when the systems designed to protect them don't. She protected herself. Marie didn't just complain, she engineered. With Albert's technical expertise and her intimate understanding of the problem, they started building. Not in some fancy lab, in their apartment, in Queens. Four peepholes at different heights. Because what if the person at your door was a child? Or kneeling to hide? Three cameras behind them, feeding into a television monitor inside the apartment. You could see who was there before they knew you were looking. You could speak to them through an intercom without opening the door. You could unlock the door remotely if you trusted them. And if you didn't, you could trigger an alarm that alerted neighbors or police. This was 1966, before personal computers, before the internet, before smart homes were even a phrase in some futurist's fever dream. Marie Van Brittan Brown, a nurse, not an engineer by profession, designed the world's first closed-circuit television security system for home use. She filed the patent in 1966. It was approved in 1969. And then, something fascinating happened. You'd think this would be the moment where Marie became a household name, where her innovation launched a company, where she got rich, celebrated, put on magazine covers. Instead, almost nothing. A small article in the New York Times, a mention in Popular Mechanics, then silence. No manufacturing deal, no venture capital, no white man in a suit claiming he'd help her by taking her idea and putting his name on it. Though honestly, that might have at least gotten the thing built. Marie's patent became a blueprint. Other people, other companies read it, studied it, used it. Her patent has been cited in 13 subsequent home security patents. 13. The DNA of her design is in every video doorbell, every apartment intercom, every monitored security system in existence. 45 million American homes have video security systems today. Marie Van Brittan Brown made $70 from her invention. Let's sit with that for a second. A black woman, working nights, afraid in her own home, invents a technology that becomes a multi-billion-dollar industry. And she dies in 2011 at age 91, largely unknown. They couldn't take the fact that when she had a problem, she didn't wait for someone to solve it. She didn't ask permission. She didn't shrink herself. She saw what was missing in the world and she built it. With her husband, in her home, with her mind. And every black woman who codes now, who patents now, who builds now, whether she knows Marie's name or not, she walks a path Marie cut. There's an African proverb: a single bracelet does not jingle. Marie's invention doesn't jingle alone, it echoes in every camera that watches over a home, every parent who checks their phone to see their child at the door, every person, anywhere, who refuses to live in fear because they have the power to see. She wasn't given her flowers, wasn't written into the canon, wasn't made into a symbol during her lifetime. But symbols are chosen by committees. Legacies are built by impact. And Marie's impact is everywhere. Every single time you feel safer in your own home because you can see without being seen, you're living in the world Marie Van Brittan Brown designed. Not bad for a nurse from Queens who just wanted to make it home safe.